welcome back to my next video. I am the Happiness Coach. It's great to have you here. Please click subscribe and ding the bell if you want to be alerted when our next videos are. It costs you nothing, but it really means the world to creators like myself. I would love to have grow our subscribers right now. We are a new baby channel, so please click subscribe. As I say, it doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to me. So, true happiness, what is it? How do I achieve it? It's a big question that has been studied and by social scientists, psychologists, everyone really just has probably asked themselves at some point, how do I be happy? And what is it? So let me say, I promise you it's something you can achieve and something you can bring into existence, into your life, but it's not just a destination. You can't just reach it. It is not, it's a journey. That's a famous quote. Happiness is not a destination, but a journey. And that's a lovely phrase, but what does that journey look like? And you can't just be on a journey without a destination. So actually it kind of is a destination. But before we get into that, I think you can interpret it as happiness is not a physical thing. It is not a physical thing you can buy. You can't get off the shelf. It's not a pill you can take. It is a version of yourself. The best version of you is happy. And it's a continual state of being, which seems quite big. But you are a human being, and you're being now without even trying. So imagine how happy you're going to be when you try. So come along for this journey to find what true happiness you can achieve. So it's like a lot of my videos, I try and break it down into 3 easy steps, because that's really easy to try and remember as 3, and it's being able to break them down and have a guide along the time, a coach like myself. So step number 1, what is the version of you that is truly happy like? What are they doing? Now, this is not richer, wealthier, slimmer, more weight, more muscles. That's not it. That is a change in you, which you continually would be trying to achieve and never reach. All you're telling your brains with that thought in mind is that you are not enough now and that you want more. So no amount of changes to your body would be enough. You will always be unhappy with it. No amount of money would ever be enough. You would always be wanting more. Sometimes that's okay, but when it starts actually having an effect on your own mental well-being, it's time to get off that train and find a new place to go. So it sounds complicated to think, well, what am I doing if I'm not trying for more? This is where step 1 is to visualize that version of you, because they are a happy person and they are existing in the world like you are right now. So what's different about them now? What's different about you compared to them? And ring those changes, because that's what you want to change. That's how you want to be. But next you need to, step 2, start being thankful and practicing gratitude. Gratitude is, I use the word magic with my clients, because it is a psychological science and fact that gratitude helps you be more happy. But it looks like magic to someone who doesn't understand neuropsychology. Then yeah, it's magic. It just works. So practicing gratitude will help. Gratitude for what you have now, the good things, focusing on the positives only. What are you happy about now? If you're coming up with nothing at all, then it's time to take a step back. How would you speak? How would a friend describe you? What are your good points? What do you like about yourself? There has to be one thing. And if it's just one small thing, even if it's the colour of your eyes, even if it's that you're kind, even if it's that you've got a nice voice, there'll be something that you are happy with. Now you have this version of you in mind that you want to be like, and you've got something good about now. So now it's about closing the gap. That's the next stage, being able to close that gap. That's step 3. What's in the way? What's closing that? What's stopping you being that version of you now? Okay, because the answer is probably nothing. Is it that they are happier because they have more money? Okay, well, we've talked about that no amount of money actually makes you truly happy, which is what we're looking for, that version that's happiness most of the time. I'm not going to say all of the time, because that can be exhausting and no one is happy all the time. But happiness is the ability to bounce back from things. That it's your base level state. So things can make you unhappy, but you return to happiness fairly quickly. And you can have even more happy times, but again, move back to your base level fairly, fairly regularly. So that base level is the truly happy version of you. So what is going to close the gap between you now and you in the future that you've visualized? If you can't control what it is that's the difference, we have to be able to let it go. We have to be able to let it go. Let that sink in. Let it go. How can you do that? If it's making you so unhappy now, how can you let things go that are making your life miserable? Okay, so I like to visualize it. I'm a very visual person. Not everybody is. So you can write this down. You can use a journal, use scraps of paper and screw them up and flush them down the toilet. Or don't do that, because you could block a toilet and then you've got another issue. But you could go in the garden and set fire to them, have a bonfire, write them in a journal, and then when it's full, get rid of that. Post a letter to yourself with them in and say, we don't want to worry about these anymore. However it works for you, visualize these 3 things. You in the middle, what you can control around the outside, what you can influence around that, another circle, and then beyond that, nothing, gone. We have to let them go. So what you can control, there's no other people in here at all. You can't even control your animals. They are other beings. They are completely, they have, what's the word I'm looking for? They have control over their own lives. You can't control another person, and trying to is only going to make you miserable. So, but you have control over your own reactions to other people. You have control over your emotions. You might not feel like it, but until you act upon an emotion, it isn't reality. It's in your mind and it's yours. There are lots of things in there that you can't see. Your boundaries, you control them, no one else, just you. And then around that, the influence circle, there's a little bit more in there. You can influence your choices, and you can influence other people's choices. You can influence what you put on in the morning, but you can't control it. The weather tells you what really to put on. The occasion that you're going to, that controls it, and you can influence it. So once you've written these down, once you've got a clear idea of those 2 circles, everything else, gone. So those are the things you write down or you visualize as letting go. My personal one, it's like a beautiful beach. I'm very much a seaside, beachy person, and I have a picture of a big dock going out to sea, and boats come along to the dock with things on, with occasions that visualize what's happening to me. And if I don't like that, I just push them back out to sea. I'm sorry, you can't disembark, you can't get off the boat. My mind, you're gone. And then they're gone, and you don't worry about them. If it looks like they're revisiting regularly and coming back, why? I can dig a bit deeper and find out why. What is it? And then I might be able to change that. But I can't control it. I might be able to change how I feel about it. These are the key skills. So the 3 steps. Visualize the version of you that you want to be. Step 2. what's happening now? What's the difference? Close the gap. Okay, what is stopping you being that version of you now? Life is short, but also very long. The days are very, very long to be unhappy in. A full and happy day does exist, I'm sure, for a lot of people in the world. But in a lot of people, maybe you watching this now, is it a bad day, or is it a bad 5 minutes that you've been thinking about all day and is now making you unhappy? So that's the bit. Close that gap. Are we dwelling on things from our past? Do we need to reach out to a therapist, to a doctor about things? Because actually, if it's really is a problem, then definitely please seek medical help. But if you think, actually, there is nothing stopping me being that version of me now, because there is no amount of weight I can lose that's going to make me happy. There are no amount of muscles I can build that's going to make me happy. My lips are never going to be big enough. My changes to your body are never going to be good enough. My bank balance is never going to be high enough, because we're telling our brains more. More is the only thing that will make me happy. And that's not good. So get rid of more, visualizing now. What's good about the now? Mindfulness, gratitude. Step 2. Step 3, letting things go. Like, that Disney Queen. There you go. But just be happy now. That's all for today, and we can dwell on this, we can talk about this in further videos, because it's a really big topic and I don't want to make these super long videos. I'm glad to have you here watching them and just having a little snippet. And 3 steps. I will try and keep everything that we do to 3 steps, because coaching is about change, and coaching is about making our lives better. So thank you and lead a brilliantly happy life. Bye.